It was going on with my family. Yeah, y'all my family. We going up together, man. We going up together. Um, man, this mother thinks her son is a mother demon. Yeah, man, her mother son must be, and I wonder what makes her mother think this. What his mother. I wonder what makes his mother think this, but let's find out.
Joshua Oates was born on April 17th of 2008 in Columbus, Ohio, to parents Mark Oates and Latina Lee. Just before tragedy struck, Josh was an 11-year-old sixth grade.
They sound like crazy kids. This kid ain't do nothing wrong. This kid ain't do nothing wrong. I'll tell y'all this right now. We didn't even get through the movie yet, but I'm telling y'all right now, this kid ain't do nothing wrong.
Student at Liberty Elementary School, where he was endeared by everyone who knew him. Josh was loving, humble, caring, and always willing to help others.
Oh, he a demon right there. Look at that. That's a demon in the motherfucking eyes right there.
Josh was loving, humble, caring.
Look at that. That's a demon. That's a demon. I'm a boy, Diamond.
Always willing to help others. He became a Christian at an early age before being baptized into the faith he chose.
Okay.
Josh's grandmother nicknamed him Prince because he was sweet and...
Okay. Hey, that boy, that black one right there look like a demon himself, don't he? He look like a demon to me.
Precious to her. The 11-year-old liked playing baseball and rehearsing music on his trombone, but most of all, Joshua Oates enjoyed being a big brother to his two younger siblings.
Okay.
Unfortunately, on St. Patrick's Day of 2020, just a month before his 12th birthday, his life was brutally stolen by someone who was supposed to protect it at all cost. I'm Mr. Black, and this is the disturbing truth.
Whoa, what? Hold the fuck up. What's going on now?
Oates left her home with her two sons, 6-year-old Mark and 9-year-old Justin, telling them that they were going on a trip to New Orleans. Marie left without informing her partner Mark about her plans to go to Louisiana, but she did mention taking the kids for a hike. But after the hike, she and her two boys headed for New Orleans. On the way, they stopped and picked up Marie's oldest son, 11-year-old Joshua Oates. He'd been staying at a friend's house the night before. That friend would never see Joshua alive again. The mother's reason for the secret trip was never really clear, but some sources claim it was so Marie could reconnect with her ancestors from that area.
Yeah, I hear that
Latina
bullshit.
Marie Oates was convinced she was somehow related to Mary LaVue, a voodoo practitioner.
Yo, what? I was joking about the other shit. I told you this. I said, no, that bitch is crazy. I said it. And I said in the beginning. I know I was playing it on the other note, but yo, I said ain't nothing wrong with that boy. It's her. What did I tell you, man?
I told you this. Was well known across New Orleans during the 19th century. Fuck. Miss LaVue is often referred to as the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans. On March 14th, Oates is seen walking into the Hampton Inn in Laurel, Mississippi with her 3 sons. 3 days later, early in the morning of March 17th, she was spotted leaving the hotel, but this time with only 2 of her sons. The 3 of them got into a white Toyota Camry with Ohio plates and drove away. Later that day, around noon, a housekeeper went in to clean the place up for the next visitors. But what she found in that hotel room was far beyond the realms of any regular cleanup job.
That bitch was crazy.
The horrified housekeeper hurried out of the room and called the police. Just a few days earlier, Marie Oates entered that clean hotel room and turned it into a nightmare, leaving behind a crime scene which left even seasoned detectives in a state of pure shock. The body of 11-year-old Joshua Oates was found in the bathroom of the room he'd been staying in over the weekend with his 2 brothers and his mother. An autopsy later revealed that Joshua had defensive wounds on his arms and left hand. In total, he had around 45 injuries, including 10 puncture wounds to the head that penetrated his skull.
Dang.
Why on earth would someone put an 11-year-old through such barbaric torture, and who was responsible for the evil? On the day the crime scene was discovered, New Orleans police issued an Amber Alert regarding Joshua's two younger brothers on behalf of a Mississippi police department. The hotel in which the four stayed helped investigators by providing details about which direction the white Camry went when it left. Then a day later, on March 18th, the police got a call that led them to the driveway of a house in New Orleans. Marie, Mark Jr., and Justin Oates were all outside in the car. The residents of the house had no clue who the woman or her kids were. But when Marie was arrested on spot and slapped with a charge of first-degree murder, I'd say they started figuring things out quite quickly. Mark and Justin were both found unharmed. Unharmed, at least, physically. God only knows how much what they witnessed will affect them later on in life. Child welfare
I get it. She said she had 3 kids. Okay.
Took care of the young brothers, while the police contacted family members in Ohio, who eventually picked Mark and Justin up to take them back home. They now reside with their grandmother. When the two boys were later interviewed, they were asked about their family lives. They explained that they'd been living with Marie and her husband Mark, but according to the boys, it didn't seem like there was much of a relationship between their mother and father. They were more like roommates that were living together but sleeping in different rooms. When the brothers were questioned about that night in the Hampton Inn, they didn't seem fully aware of what happened to their older brother Joshua. They'd witnessed Marie pounce on him while he was in bed before dragging him into the bathroom. From within the bathroom, they could hear him crying out, asking his mother why she was hurting him. A while later, they watched as Marie emerged from the bathroom, covered in blood, as something red seeped underneath the bathroom door. Marie told Mark and Justin they were not allowed to go in that bathroom. Whenever they needed to relieve themselves, she firmly instructed the boys do so in plastic bottles or simply do it on the floor. One of the investigators who witnessed the crime scene at that hotel said he'd never seen so much fecal matter, vomit, and urine. Those boys clearly went through hell. When the police entered the bathroom in room 319 at the Hampton Inn, they came across what looked like some kind of altar. There was also a bath full of water mixed with blood. The brutalized, lifeless body of Joshua Oates lay on the floor. He had a 5-pound metal bar driven 4 inches deep into the back of his skull.
What the fuck?
Nobody was prepared for the horror they found in that room on that fateful St. Patrick's Day. After the arrest, Marie Oates was questioned at the Jones County Adult Detention Center, where she described in horrific detail what happened.
Bro, she done told these little poor babies to go pee in a bottle because she don't want to be disturbed of what she about to do to her son. Because she think he a fucking demon. This is fucked up, yo.
She claimed that she heard spirits telling her to kill Joshua that night because he... a demon and a threat to his younger brothers. So this monster of a mother told the police that she slipped her 11-year-old son some NyQuil, hoping he'd be fast asleep when she attacked him. Marie claims she didn't want to hurt him any more than she had to. But if you ask me, her whole story is just a pathetic excuse to try and negate responsibility. In my opinion, she's just crying crazy. Before the killing, Marie Oates went down to her car and smoked a cigarette before grabbing her backpack. Inside it was what she called an ancient dagger. But in reality, it was just a metal bar. There was nothing ancient about it. When Marie went back up to the room, she filled the bath up with water. She then urinated in the toilet before wiping herself with a piece of paper. Bizarrely, she threw the paper in the tub, too. According to Marie, peeing on the paper and throwing it into the bath was her way of blessing the bath water and turning it holy in preparation for the sick ritual she had in store for her son.
So putting paper and putting it in water, bitch, you ain't do nothing but make a motherfucking fish bowl. It's holy. So she trying to say she got holy. No, my friend. You ain't do nothing but wipe yourself with that piece of paper and turn it into a fish. Goddamn fish bowl. Fishy.
After that, she attacked Joshua while he slept in bed, and apparently tried plunging the metal bar into his chest to kill him right then and there, but she was unsuccessful. That, of course, woke Josh up, and that's when she dragged him into the bathroom and closed the door. As Latina Marie Oates continued to attack Joshua, it became clear that he wasn't going to just lay there and take it.
Right.
As I mentioned before, Joshua Oates fought for his life against the hands of his own mother.
Damn.
Unfortunately, he was no match for her. Marie forced his head under the water in the tub until Joshua stopped resisting. She then pulled him out of the bath and put the piece of metal through the back of his head. The autopsy showed that the object was used on the little boy's head multiple times. Marie said she was possessed by voodoo spirits and that they made her kill her son. She also claimed Joshua had been possessed by evil spirits that turned him into a demon. According to the police, Marie Oates seemed convinced that this was a fact, but I'm not buying it. When the officer conducting Marie's interview stated that mothers are supposed to sacrifice themselves for their children, Marie quickly interrupted. She said she would have, if the child was hers. For whatever reason, at the time of the murder, Marie claims she didn't think Joshua was her son. But personally, as a father, I think that's the biggest pile of shit I've ever heard. After the questioning, Marie made a phone call to her husband, Mark Sr. Mark said he was at a loss for words. Marie, on the other hand, simply asked for a change of socks and underwear. Where the hell was her remote?
Shit. I wanna have gave that shit. I swear to God, girl, rot in it. Rot in it, boy. You lucky you did it undercover. Cause girl, They'd have thought I did both. Nah, she did one. I had to take her out.
Maybe there wasn't any. Marie waived extradition from New Orleans and was returned to Mississippi, where she was held at the Jones County Jail. The bond hearing for Latina Marie Oates was on the 19th of March in 2020. During the initial hearing, Oates admitted that there was a lot of violence in the hotel bathroom that night. She even tried pleading with the judge that she was not a threat to society or her other two sons. But the judge and everyone in that courtroom knew exactly what happened that night, and they weren't buying it.
Right.
But Marie claimed she wasn't a bad or violent person. She said she loved her kids and that they were her life. She wanted bail, reasoning that when she was arrested she didn't even try to run. In her mind, because she didn't flee from police when she was being arrested, that had to stand for something, right? During the hearing, Marie confirmed that she'd killed her oldest son, and once again described exactly how she did it. Thankfully, bond was denied, meaning Marie had to stay in Jones County Adult Detention Center until Circuit Judge Dahl Williams could take a closer look at her case. The defense stated that Latina Marie Oates had a history of mental illness. They said she'd been on several medications and therefore were requesting a mental evaluation for that. When the judge heard Oates call herself a voodoo priestess for Marie Laveau and claimed she was guided by voodoo spirits, he granted the request for a mental evaluation. And that's where things start to get even more sketchy. The doctor performing the evaluation was allegedly hired by the defendant's family rather than the court.
Right.
If you ask me, this creates a little bit of a conflict of interest in the situation, but I have no legal background, so what do I know? Marie, her family, and her defense team all said that she had been interested in voodoo for a long time.
I'm a leaver. October 11th. Bro, I always looked at this. They have us on a scale. They say we well-balanced people. Why do they have her blindfolded? Please tell me that. Why do they have her blindfolded? Please write that in the comments. I would like for somebody to let me know that.
And her defense team all said that she had been interested in voodoo for a long time. They also claimed the mother had been having mental health problems for even longer. But other people close to Marie seemed certain that none of that was true. And to make matters even more complicated, it seems that Marie's mother works in the mental health field in Ohio. With this knowledge, rumors and speculation arose that she may have been coaching Marie on schizophrenia in order to pass the evaluation so she could plead insanity at the time of the crime. When Marie's calls, behavior, and body language at the beginning of the case are compared later on to her interactions in court, she seems to be slower and her mannerisms a little off. But was that real? Or was she faking it?
She was faking it.
That's certainly a good question. Thanks to mental evaluations, the pandemic, and the retiring of both the DA and the prosecutor mid-case, it took quite some time to convict her of the crime. But soon Marie's charge was changed from first-degree murder to capital murder by way of a grand jury. But then when Marie's attorney, Janine Pacific, found that out, she was forced to step down from defending Oates. She wasn't qualified to defend a capital murder case, so Latina was given another state-assigned attorney. Wanting to waste no more time, the judge stated that he would like to keep the already selected court date. So they did. Oates was assigned 2 state attorneys, Lynn-Derrick Taylor and Cruz Gray. The strategy used by Taylor was to prove Latina Oates was criminally insane at the time of the crime and that she truly thought she was killing a demon rather than her son.
As we gather here today, it is essential to remember that the legal system recognizes the concept of insanity for a reason. It acknowledges there are instances where the mind grips us so overwhelmingly that we may not and cannot control our actions. That makes the reality that we perceive so distorted that we don't know
Bullshit.
what's real and what is not.
Bullshit. She knew exactly
And
what
once
she
again,
was
ladies and
doing.
gentlemen, this is a principle of insanity. It's not an excuse, but a reason to understand mental health. And as you saw from the witness stand, the evidence that was presented before you, it painted a picture of a woman, a mom, who had become gripped in the jaws of a severe mental disorder called schizophrenia.
Oh, whatever.
You saw in the video, and you saw from testimony, and heard from testimony from the stand, when she was arrested in New Orleans and brought back to Laurel, you all witnessed severe mental illness firsthand, and how distorted the reality of a person that is so overwhelmed and gripped by a severe mental disorder perceives reality. You saw from yourself how out of touch with this reality that we perceive she was.
Dr. Chris Lott and Robert Storer, forensic psychologists, backed that theory after assessing her mental state, and they came to the conclusion that she had indeed been acting insane at the time and was fully invested in her delusions about her son, Josh.
Right.
They'd been working with Marie for quite a while. In fact, the last extension of her mental evaluation took 4 months to be completed. During that time, she actually did convince psychologists of her mental health issues.
Damn.
She told them that she started hearing voices in her head around January of 2020. She even claimed it was the voice of her dead grandmother who told her to reunite with her ex-partner Mark and get the boys together in one house. Marie took several unplanned trips to Chicago and Florida, and during one of those trips, she says she believes that someone put a hex on her. Later on, she claims that she began hearing the voice of Jesus and that he told her to go to where her roots are in Laurel, Mississippi. When she picked up Josh from his friend's house, she said she heard the same voice tell her that the people in that house are witches and they were turning her son into a demon. This alleged voice of Christ convinced her that she had to kill her 11-year-old in order to save her other 2 sons, which, while indeed very Old Testament, still not very Jesus of him. The doctors believed Marie to be displaying signs of severe...
Man, I can't watch this video. I'm sorry. She did it. And if y'all want to learn, and y'all let me know in the comments, how much time she got. Let me know.